it's a trap.
Did you know that the genre trap music originally got its name from the term trap house, which refers to a place where illegal substances were sold? Me neither, so let's go. Hey, was geht? Welcome back to another episode to Save and Sound. My name is Rudenote, and today I would like to show you how to do a trap beat for people like Travis Scott, Gucci Mane, and all of the trap musicians that you know. So where does trap music actually come from? Trap music is a subgenre of hip-hop that emerged in the early 2000s in southern United States, particularly in Atlanta, Georgia. It's characterized by its unique sound, which includes heavy use of 808, fast hi-hat, snare rolls, and obviously dark, melodic sound elements. Trap beats are often minimalistic, focusing on rhythm and mood rather than the melody. Trap music began to gain mainstream traction in the 2010 with artists like Future, Migos, Travis Scott, and Young Thug, bringing the genre to a broader audience. These artists maintained the core element of trap while experimenting with different sound and vocal styles like autotune. Nowadays, trap has also influenced a wide range of other genres like pop artists, Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, and Beyoncé, for example. EDM artists have also adopted trap beats, leading to the creation of trap EDM, a fusion genre that retains the heavy bass and hi-hat patterns of trap.
Okay, when starting a beat, it really depends on the mood that you're gonna choose, right? I really like going with the chords first, or with like the melodic aspects rather than the drums, but this is really up to you. So I started with this chord progression. I loaded up this plugin called Scorch, and it's really amazing because you have cool plugins, cool VSTs in there, cool presets. And this knob is basically also a game changer. You can automate the sound of it, or you can, do like some small sound design. It really looks also really fancy, like if you move this buttons here. But yeah, I started with the chord progression. We are in F minor, and this is how the chord sounds. And what I really like doing is adding like the dominant 7 note to it, which is basically in this case the E, so it gives it like a more dark atmosphere. So yeah, apart from that, I was layering or like adding some small ear candies, I would say, also with the same plugin actually, and it sounds like this. Same again. Just to give it like a more variations as well. I took some chords that I had in my library, and I think I pitched them up like 3 semitones. Like even these chords alone could be like an entire beat, right? Apart from that, I added some shakers, some like perk loops, just for the intro. I did like some effects, like this riser thing. Then I also added a respace. This is like a Sunset Dream synth bass. I really love using this one. And as you could hear, I just also put like the glide mode on, and I changed the time a little bit, so it's kind of like a cool riser thing. Not a riser, but like a cool glide, and a pretty slow one, not like the faster ones. So yeah, that's basically the intro that I made, so let's give it a listen. Yeah, this is the intro, and when it comes to the drum parts, I really love going with those double time hi-hats, like on the 8 notes hi-hats kind of, and then obviously doing some hi-hat rolls, as you can see here. So let's solo the hi-hats first. And also triplets, obviously, because we need triplets in trap beats.
And by the way, did you know that autotune got really famous as well through the trap music? Artists like Travis Scott and Future made it kind of their own, you know, using autotune as a creative process and not only as a pitch shifting tool. That's insane.
Sometimes I also like putting like a chorus on the hi-hats to give it more, like to spread it a little bit more. But here also be careful. And this plugin is also really nice from Safari Pedals. They make amazing plugins for real. This is one of my favorites because the presets are nice. You can even use them for vocals. So yeah, this one is really dope. So this is also with the chorus. Let's give it a listen. Okay, cool. So I also added a snare, obviously. So let's give it a listen with the hi-hats. So there's like pretty basic, right? I mean, sometimes I use it in the offbeats right here. And it's really nice when you play it with the 808 together. For the 808, I think it's kind of like a spins 808, and the bounce is like, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes I like, you know, when going from one note to the other, doing like those transition notes in that sense. Since we are in, for example, F minor, I went 3 semitones up, so it's like the third. And this one is always like a cool transition to it. You can even go like then 4 semitones more up, and then you had like the 5th note of it, which would then be like the entire chord if you know. But yeah, for this case I didn't do it. So yeah, this is how the 808 sounds like. I just put like some soft clipping over there so it's a little bit more punchy. Right, this is the 808.
And by the way, guys, did you actually know that in the trap genre, producers get even more recognition than artists sometimes? Like we have Metro Boomin, we have Q Beats, we even have Murder Beats, and they're all famous producers, got famous through the music or like through trap. That's crazy.
Also for the verse part or chorus part, whatever you want to call it, I kind of like I resampled the original sounds, the original song, the original instruments from the verse or from the intro that we had, and then I just pitched it up and was playing around with it a little bit. I also reversed it, so you know, giving it a little bit of a different vibe to it, and this is how it sounds like, what I came up with. And as you can see here, like in the end we have this, like you can hear it's reversed obviously, but it sounds really fire. Then I also chopped it a little bit in the end. There's like da-da-da-dum, which makes it like more alive, I would say. This is, I think, also really important when it comes to trap music, because you want to make it really, you know, you want to make it really minimalistic, but also at the same time something should always be happening. So after 8 bars or something, I always try to add some things or take some things off again, or you know, like as you can see here, I just stopped the sample, for example, and this just gives the listener or the artist more space, and they be like, oh, in this gap I could do like a cool ad-lib, or you know, they already get an idea. Especially also like after, as you can see here, like this is the intro, right, and this here's the verse starting, but I didn't edit the kick, I just added the kick in the second part of it. So yeah, this is the kick pattern kind of going with the 808 itself. But you know, there were some notes from the kick that are not in the 808. I also, as you could hear it probably a little bit, added sidechain. I used track spacer, and here it's really important to switch it to mid and side rather than left and right, because this is like the auto mode. Then obviously turning down the attack and then adjusting the release a little bit. So I'm like 100% to the mids, and I mean, you can hear it if you solo it together. This is with, this without. So the kick is punching a little bit more through it, through the mix. I also like doing it for the entire instrument part, you know, like for example, like this is the instrument group, and I put the kick and the 808 to sidechain these instruments so that the drums and the 808 are basically always cutting through the instruments. So yeah, let's give it a listen how the verse sounds. And as you could hear, I also added some rolls, obviously, because we always need snare rolls, right? These one I also either are triplets, you know, turning down the velocity a little bit, or here in the end, you know, like just making sure that you just try out a little bit, and here it really depends on like where or what you want to achieve. But in the end, it's always like a try on everything. Sometimes I think the more you do it, then you know, okay, this is how I should do the snare rolls. So yeah, that's it for the verse part. And then I had like a small bridge part, because I think sometimes maybe even rapper or artist, whatever, they want to do like a small bridge, maybe with more auto-tune or whatever. That's why I did kind of the same as the intro, but I added like this piano, which gives like a also more, I don't know, more vibe to it, I would say. It's an ambient space piano from Omnisphere. This is how it sounds like. Yeah, and as you can hear, oh sorry, as you can hear, like the sound of the piano has a lot of reverb, like even now it doesn't stop. So what you can always do, I think here in the FX settings, there is the Pro Reverb. You can turn it down a little bit so it won't be there for like an unlimited time. But yeah, apart from that, it's basically the same as the intro, just with the filtered drums, as you can see here. What else I did was basically using the frequency shifter for this part right here. Because again, I think like transitions are so important as well, because we can like it has to be minimalistic, but at the same time we need to make sure it's also entertaining for the people. So always something should be happening after like 4 or at least like 8 bars, you know. So yes, and for the chorus part, I think I then just added like these small notes, but it's kind of the same as like how we started. You know, just this one in the intro, like as an ear candy. So let's give it a listen with all of it together.
Okay guys, we are done. And now let's give it a listen. Like this bass, I love this bass. Sheesh. Guys, I think this beat came out really hard, and not gonna lie, I think this is a banger. What do you think? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Also, let me know what I should do next in the comments below, and remember to stay focused, calm, and safe and sound.